Good evening, friends. My name is Samir Raj. Welcome to another session of Straight from Fund Manager. I'll be covering Nippon India Small Cap Fund. Since we just completed the financial year, let me first update you on the performance. Last year was good for small cap category. Nippon India Small Cap Fund delivered about 44% return. This is compared to 37% return by benchmark, which is NSE Small Cap 250 Index. Some of the sectors which helped us generating this alpha were IT, sugar, financial service, textiles, and select consumer stocks. Sectors which did not do well for us were FMCG, consumer durables, agrochemicals, and pharma. Yeah, let me now give our house view on the small cap segment. So first, let's talk about short-term outlook. So last 2 years have been good for the small cap investors, but this year we are starting with a lot of headwinds. For example, we are all of us are facing really high level of inflation across the commodities, especially crude. There are also like reversal of interest rate cycle. There is a good amount of FI selling. There are geopolitical tensions because of war. So all these are headwinds. And despite all these headwinds, surprisingly, the mid and small cap segment in the market has done really well, kind of. So which actually shows the power of retail investors in India. See, frankly, no one knows like how things are going to pan out because we are in a war-like situation and it's very difficult to predict, kind of. So our view is that looking at this uncertainties, markets could be volatile in the short term, and maybe we feel it's a time to approach market a little bit cautiously in the short term because markets could be volatile. But at the same time, since overall undercurrent of the market is very strong, there will be a lot of individual stock picking opportunities. So as a fund manager, our idea would be to pick up those kind of small individual opportunities which can do well for the fund. And looking at the scenario which could be volatile, I think SIP still continues to be the best way for investing in small cap with overall asset allocation discipline. Now let me discuss long-term view. See, we take slightly longer-term view. We feel India seems to be very well placed, and it can really benefit from a lot of global trends. For example, China Plus One is a strategy through which Indian companies can really benefit well. I think the shifting geopolitical situation is also forcing a lot of countries to encourage domestic manufacturing. So again, government of India, we feel, is really following right kind of policies with push to PLI and all that. And that's why we feel that once war situation stabilizes and once this raw material situation eases, I think the times could be very good for corporate profitability. And we feel long-term outlook, barring this short-term headwinds, still remains quite okay. Let me now discuss our sectoral positioning. Currently, we are overweight on industrials. We are overweight on consumer products, including both durables as well as FMCG. We also continue to be overweight on specialty chemicals, IT, and telecom. We feel all these are the sectors which can provide superior long-term growth. While we do agree that in some of these sectors there could be short-term headwinds, but I think once we pass through these headwinds, overall the sectors are still offering superior long-term growth opportunities, and we would want to continue to be overweight on these segments. The sectors on which we are underweight are one, financials, second, healthcare, and infra and constructions. So financials, frankly, in small caps, there are dearth of opportunities. So we try and cover up for some of this underweight through our large cap exposures. Healthcare, our approach would be to increase our weight as and when we get opportunity. And infra and construction, I think we are by and large fine with our overall exposure. So one question which as a fund manager I get continuously is that is the size of our fund a challenge? So no doubt running a large cap fund in a small cap space is not a easy job, but we feel it's not an impossible thing. Fortunately, despite our large size, we believe we managed to give overall satisfactory experience to investors, especially the long-term investors so far. Now, coming to size, I think a couple of things which we'll have to keep in mind is that, first of all, small cap universe is a very large universe. So between market cap of say 2,500 crore to 15,000 crore, there are more than 400 companies. So we have large universe of companies to choose from. So we feel there could be still many individual opportunities with which we can do justice to our portfolio. Second thing which we have to keep in mind is that it's not that we are getting all this money fresh. So we already have an existing portfolio. So what we have to do manage is to really handle the incremental flows, which at this point of time we feel are quite manageable. Third thing is also like many times people wonder about the number of stocks in our portfolio, and they feel the number of stocks in our portfolio are quite large. But we feel in small cap space, in fact, the larger size of the portfolio works to the advantage to the investors. The more number of companies you have, it gives ability to hold some stock for a longer period of time. So for example, our idea is to buy good companies and hold them for a longer period of time. And when you're holding one stock for a longer period of time, there could be interim correction. So if you have a diversified portfolio, when one of your existing holding is going through correction, if there is some other stock which is doing well and which is compensating, so that creates an overall balance in the portfolio. So frankly, our opinion is that large number of stocks actually works to the advantage of small cap investors. And I think the key to outperformance will be is to how you are picking up the winner. So as long as we are able to bring consistently new winners in our top 25, top 30 position, we can still create overall satisfactory experience. So as a fund manager and as an equity team, our goal will be to continue to find this kind of opportunities and make sure that they become part of our top position. So investors can consider Nippon India's small cap fund as a part of their overall long-term exposure in the small cap space with overall asset allocation discipline. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.